how will bushfire risk change as our planet heats up? That question is at the heart of Dr Hamish Clarke's research here at the University of Melbourne. The answer is far from straightforward.
In terms of some of the things that drive fire, we're talking fuel, vegetation. We're talking, dryness, we're talking weather conditions, those kind of hot, dry, windy days. And we're talking that all-important ignition that sets things off. And climate change can actually affect all of those things.
Those effects can vary depending on the location and the fire regime in the area.
So in our forested regions where we have plenty of fuel but it doesn't always dry out enough, then if climate change is bringing hotter and drier conditions, that's really a sign that we could get more fires and bigger fires that are harder to control. In some of the more arid areas, it's already hot and dry, and making it hotter and drier isn't necessarily going to change risk unless there's also changes in fuel too.
Dr Clarke studies all things fire, from its drivers to its impacts on people, property and the environment, and ways we can mitigate risk. Part of his research looks at prescribed burning, which is widely used in Australia to help with fire hazard reduction.
We found that there's good evidence that these windows of opportunity for conducting prescribed burning are going to change in the future. In particular, as extreme conditions increase, we're probably going to be having to move closer to winter, further away from the peak fire season.
Dr Clarke's research often involves working with decades worth of observational records.
It's my colleagues who get to go out bashing around the bush or setting fire to stuff in the lab, and I'm trying to stitch together things like weather and climate change data, evidence about how fires have spread, where they are in the landscape, to really understand what makes fire tick and how we can try to coexist with it.
You can see some references up there. Here we have some important colours.
One of his projects involves building computer models that allow fire managers to simulate bushfire scenarios and weigh up different interventions. Dr Clarke's passion for his work is driven by its real-world applications.
Yes, these are fascinating scientific questions and problems, but at the end of the day, the measure of the success or failure is, are we doing things differently? Are we making a difference?
That includes making a difference at the community level. In 2014, Dr Clarke co-founded an initiative in the Blue Mountains called Science at the Local to support scientific literacy in the community.
I played basketball with a guy there who turned out to be a science teacher at the local high school. He's from New York City. He said, it's a great place, the mountains, a little bit quiet sometimes. Why don't we try starting a science in a pub? And then, 10 years later, it's still going.
For his contributions to science with real-world impact, Dr Clarke has been awarded the Frederick White Medal from the Australian Academy of Science.